Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia and today we're going to continue setting up our spreads for the year of 2023. So if you guys watched my previous video, you guys will know that this video's flow will be a little off because I did film everything thinking that I would be able to get it all in one video, but it's actually a lot of spreads and it was a lot of time. So this is now part 2 of these 3 videos to set up my budget planner. So to give you guys a heads up, for the year of 2023, our goal is to be saving as much as we can for 2023. It's going to be our year of just saving, focusing on saving. And then I'm hoping for the year of 2024 will be the year of paying off debt for our student loans. But let's see how it goes. So in my previous video, I already set up the emergency funds as well as my quarterly or first quarter budget for the year 2023. This is for January, February, and March. And then we'll have our second quarter that I'll do when time comes with you guys. I'll set it up all together, and then same with third quarter and fourth quarter. So for this video, we will be setting up together the next 3 spreads, and that will be, the first one will be our budget trackers, and then we have our debt overview for our student loans as well as our Savopoly. So if you guys are interested in any of those videos, definitely keep watching. I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys an overview of the 3 spreads, and then we'll go ahead and do them together. So let's go ahead and get started. Next, I have the bills trackers. So I have bills trackers here. I have 2 colors, pink and blue, but I will be using 2 of each because I want to track it for 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023, which is this new month coming ahead of us. The reason why is because I really like being able to see how much our bills were previous years, just to try to see patterns of like during the summertime versus the winter time, how much we spent or how much bills will increase. It's just really helpful for me to be able to see. This was one of the spreads I did have in a previous year, and this is how I was able to track it for each year. And it's just really nice to be able to see, like, in comparison to like 2019, for example, when we were still in an apartment, our electric was so much more expensive. For September, October, November, it was like a couple hundred, versus last year it was like drifting around $100. But this is kind of like an overview of what it will look like, but in a nicer way to see. So this is kind of what I'm going to be transferring this information into this, just so I can have a spread for the last 4 years, well, including this upcoming year, but that is what this spread will look like. Next, we have our debt trackers, and for our debt trackers, I only have 2 of the designs here. Again, you guys might notice that design 3 and design 4 are my favorite, but for these 2, I am going to be setting up our student loans. So we actually don't have any other debt. Well, we have our mortgage, but that is a different story to tackle in the future. But the only other debt that we have is our student loans. So I want to separate out my husband's and my student loan on this page, since both of ours are from different servicers. So how the debt overview will look like is, so we have the debt name, initial amount, if it applies to whatever debt you have, current amount, interest, date paid off, and total paid. And then for transaction log, we have the date, debt name, amount paid, remaining balance. We have little scripts down here for you to put if you want to as well, for credit cards, student loans, Great Lakes, Advantage, mine's, his, hers, ours. And I'll be setting this up with you guys as well, so you guys can see. I had this set up for 2022 or 2021. So I will be filling this out with you guys, and since 2023 is more so a year of saving, I'm not going to be focusing on debt like that, especially since student loans are still going to be paused until I think June next year, something like that. Most likely 2024 is when we'll focus on debt, but I still want to at least have these in here just to see how much we owe, how much each loan is, things like that. So that is what this spread will look like. Next, we have a Savopoly and the transaction log or savings log. This is something that I'm not sure if I'm bringing to the shop or not, because it's very custom to for me. But this is essentially what I'm going to be doing is every week in my weekly check-in videos, I'm planning on rolling the dice. And I'm just going to use an app for it, honestly. But I'm going to be planning on rolling dice to try to see how much we're going to be saving. I think I'm going to put rules down here as well for like if we go to jail, maybe for the next 3 spins, we'll have to save that amount. Or if you go to jail, you straight up have to pay a certain amount. I'm not sure. I'll probably put some rules down here for that. But that is what this looks like. And then the savings tracker, I'm going to put however much we have to save from here into this log, along with whatever savings we have for the month, which will be calculated in the next spread. Now let's move on to our trackers. Okay, so I have all 4 of these here. Let's go ahead and lay them down. I think I want to like switch the colors up like this. So we'll have a blue, pink, blue, blue, pink, pink, blue. Just so like, yeah, just so like it looks a little different. Let's just lay them down. This is going to be like a lot of transferring information over. So I think I'm just going to do it off camera and then just like kind of pop back in once I'm done. But let me lay these down. I'm gonna just put this here. So that is 1, and this will be for 2020. Yeah, 2020. Oops. So we have the next one. So this will be for 2021. I want to line this up with the bottom here. Okay. This one's a bit crooked, but it is fine with me. Now let's move to the next one. So we have the blue one. This is going to be for 2023. That is down here. And then we have the 2022. 2022, I think I have to catch up for like the last few months too, because I haven't been writing them down. But let's put 2022 right above this one. All right, so that is what all 4 of those look like. Now, let's go ahead and do one of the older years first together. After we do one of the older years together, I'll go ahead and do all of the rest of them off camera. But this one will be 2023 and 2022, 2021 and 2020. And for the bills I have, there's 7 of them that I usually like to mark. So the first one is going to be for mobile. So that's mobile. Then we have car insurance. Next we have utilities for gas, utilities for water, utilities electric. And then we also have rent/mortgage. I think in were we still in an apartment in 2020? Yeah, we were still in an apartment at the beginning of 2020. That's why I have rent/mortgage. I realized I wrote 2022. This is 2020. Haha. So we were definitely still in an apartment at the beginning of 2020. That's going to be rent and mortgage. But for the future years, I'll probably change it to just mortgage alone. And there's 2 extra spaces, but I don't really have anything else to put in here. At least not as of now. So we'll go ahead and fill this out. These are essentially all of the bills that we have. So I'm going to just fill it out and transfer the information over, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have it filled out for 2020. Let me zoom in. So this is what it's looking like. For all the bills, like I've just been keeping track of them, but if I ever have to go back, I could just go back through our bill statements, or I can go back through like the planner when I planned. That's what I'm gonna have to do to catch up for 2022 for May, June, July, August. I'll have to just go back through the statements or see if I budgeted that month. And this is how I'm able to compare previous years, especially this year. It looks like in October is when we had our last payment for rent. Rent used to be around $1,600 for us, and then we moved out to a home. Electric was definitely more expensive. I have like 2019, 2018 in a different planner, but electricity for summertime was very expensive for us when we were living in an apartment. So that's something that's very different for us. So I'll be right back because if you can hear, the little bean is fussing. So I will be right back. Okay, so it is now nighttime. I have no idea where we left off, but I do know that we were at least on this spread. I am gonna go ahead and just fill off 2022 and 2021 off camera. I do have most of the bills for December, but I'm gonna just go ahead and save time, skip this, fill this off camera. I'll most likely be doing like a flip through of this in one of my future budget videos once this is all completed. We're gonna go ahead and move on to this one. So this is going to be our debt trackers and student loans. So we have both of those over here for debt overview and debt transaction log. I believe I had Dustin choose which one he liked more. He liked this one more. So I'm gonna have this one for his debt and then this one for my debt. Honestly, since it is just student loans, I actually am not going to show the debt that we have for these spreads for our student loans, just because like I will be having that in a future video, most likely when we start tackling down our debt and focusing on debt. So it probably will be in 2024 when we really try to get down our student loan debt. So I will set this up with you guys, but I am going to fill this in off camera as well. Let's go ahead and just do these first at least. I'll probably fill in at least one of the debts with you guys, just so you guys can see how I fill it in at least. But let's go ahead and just lay these down in case you guys like seeing the sticker part. But if not, of course, I will have the portions timestamped below if you guys want to skip to the next one. And I'm so obsessed with these two washies. I know you guys probably already know that because I'm literally choosing one or the other for majority of my spreads here. But that is the debt overview. Let me zoom you guys in as well. I hope the lighting is okay because it did get darker. But then again, I guess it doesn't really make a difference because it's not like I have the window blinds open. I tend to like it really dark in our home. But anyway, so there is that first line here. And this one is going to be for Great Lakes. So I'm going to just put that. I'm doing that thing again where I center this, but I forget I want to put that little script on the side. And I feel like it looks better when I like move this over a bit. So that is for Great Lakes. I don't know if you guys can really see it like on camera, but Dustin's is Great Lakes. And I'm gonna put down this one. And I actually counted out 9 lines because Dustin has 9 loans taken out. So I'm gonna put all of those in here. Let me grab a washi just to split this up. I'm gonna bring this one down one actually, just because I want to put the transaction log down and I want to put it kind of like over that washi piece. So let me just bring this down one. Okay. Let's see. All right, so we're gonna put it like that, and this transaction log I'm going to put over it like this. Yeah, that is nice, that is nice. I dig it. We'll do this total amount at the very bottom just to total out how much we put in our transactions. I think I want to put this right here because I do want to use up that last washi. If I have the washi and I can incorporate it some way, I do really like to just try to incorporate it. But we'll incorporate this one, and then that is going to be it for this sheet since I'm not going to be using any of the other scripts. And this one we will put at the very bottom. And let me put the lines down and I'll be right back. Okay, so these lines are now down and this is what it looks like. I am going to fill in a couple of them with you guys just so I can show you guys what it will look like. But essentially, for the debt overview, I'm going to do the first two. So Dustin has 9 loans. And then the first one we have is 227. This initial starting amount, because this was a student loan, so for this column it definitely applies to us for the initial amount. It's kind of like, if I feel like it would apply to us too if we had like a credit card and we had an initial amount and a current amount. Let's say last year it was like 1,000, this year it's like 500. Then I could put the initial amount that we started with 1,000, but this year starting off we still have 500 left. But that's kind of like the idea of it. But of course, if it didn't apply, I would probably just cross this out. For the initial amount for this one, it is $1,750 for this loan. The current amount for this loan is $1,777.17. And the reason why is because of interest. Interest here is $3.61% is the interest for this. This is not paid off yet, so I'm going to leave this as is, but that is one loan. The second loan is $228. This loan amount is $1,000 that we started off with, and this is actually paid off. This was paid off quite a bit of time ago. That's why I'm going to be putting that as starting the current amount as 0, because there's no balance left since this is paid off. The interest for this was 3.86%. I like to just put it there just so I can see what the interest was previously. But this was paid off 11/04/18, so that was definitely years ago. The total paid for this though, with interest and everything, the final amount was $1,189.08, and that was when it was paid. So that one is officially done with. But I like to just have them here because hopefully one day I'll be able to see all of these have a 0 current amount and then also the paid off date for all of them. I feel like it would just be so satisfying, but this is gonna be a long ways out. I do also want to put transactions in here as well when we do make like substantial payments. So for right now, I feel like this transaction log is long enough, but I do want to just fill out one just to show you guys. For this one, I ended up not putting in because like it's kind of right here, the date that we paid it off. But we did also have another payment that I like to just keep in here just so I can see it. Because again, I'm very visual, so I like to be able to see it. So this was paid on the same date, 11/4/2018, to the debt name 238. And the amount that we paid was $3,033.22. The remaining balance for this one, I believe, is around $3,000. I can't quite check it because right now, since student loans are paused, it doesn't really tell you the balance of it because it just says everything's like 0 or paused. But I just want to put that there because I just like to see it. I know this is a long time ago, so it doesn't even apply. It's a completely new year, but I personally just like to see it there, if that makes sense. But this is what it'll look like. So at the end of the year, I'll be able to total everything up. So the initial amount for everything, I'll put here. The current amount is this total, and then the total paid, I'll be able to put at the very bottom here as well. And then for the transaction log, I'll be able to total up the amount paid throughout the year. But this will probably be very stagnant for now, at least until we start really focusing on student loans. But again, I'll definitely go over this and I'll show this whenever that is. And I'll have like a whole video on it. But for right now, since I'm not really focusing on this, I don't really want to bring it to light. But let me go ahead and set up the next one, which is going to be my debt overview. Okay. And I'm normally not like the most florally girl, but I must say this year in these prints, I think I'm totally a floral girl. I think for most of the kits that I'm going to be having for you guys, there's going to be at least one floral print. Okay, let me remember, I am going to be putting that other script, so I'm going to move this over. And for this one, it'll be for Advantage. Okay, So that is what this one looks like. And I'm not going to fill out anything for this since we already filled out a couple on the other side, and I'm hoping that that is enough. But if not, I will be back to talk about these debts in the future. Alrighty, so we have that one down. I counted out 12 because for me, I have 12 loans. My loans could have been totally avoided if I just went into school as a undecided. I really wish I went in as undecided. I went into school as a full-on biology major, and I maxed out credits every single semester for like 3 years. So all the labs, all the classes, all the materials, oh my goodness, you guys can only imagine. And then I ended up doing a 180 and changing my major. So sad, so sad. But I mean, you live and you learn. And I am going to just put this one right here as well. I feel like this is like barely any space, but I mean, since we're not really focusing on debt this year, I guess this will just be fine. We'll make do with it. But I do still want to at least put that washi down because I feel like the washi makes it look so cute. Okay, so there is that one, this last washi, and then once I put that script down, we'll be done with this sheet as well. I've been doing this video, recording it in so many different chunks. I really wonder how long this video has been. But that looks good. I'm gonna go ahead and do the lines as well, and then I'll show you guys what both spreads look like. So let's show you guys what they both look like. I'm so obsessed. I'm so obsessed. I love these colors and these spreads so much. I'm so excited for the month of April for this washi and the month of May for this washi. Ooh, okay, so we're gonna move on to the next spread. So this one is going to be our Savopoly and our savings log. So let's just lay these down. I honestly am not quite sure how this is going to turn out with the Savopoly, but let's go ahead and just try it anyway. Okay. Yeah. Where should I put this? Since I'm going to be putting rules down at the bottom, I think I'm going to just like move this up just a bit. Just because I want to cover that top line, so I think I'm going to put it like right here. Try to center it out. Okay, so that's that top half. And the bottom half, I'm going to turn this so it's easier to put. And we'll do there's that line in the middle, but that doesn't really bother me. Okay, what is, oh my god, I just ripped it. What is this thing that's stuck on my sticker? What is this even from? That is okay. You guys probably can't really see that on camera, but I can see it. So there's this little white line because like it's two different pieces, but that doesn't really bother me. So I'm going to just move on. The rules down here, I do want to put, so I put one rule down here so far, and it is when you go to jail, roll 3 times and save that amount added up. So that's what I'm going to do, since the typical amount in Monopoly is you have to roll 3 times. If you get snake eyes, you can leave. So how I'm going to do it is I'm going to roll 3 times that same time that I go to jail. And if I get snake eyes, I'll move forward. But if I don't, all 3 of those times, I'm going to save it. I don't know. I'm just kind of playing with the different rules. So let's see how that goes. But let's go ahead and put the savings log as well. And for this one, I have the savings tracker just already on there because I couldn't fit it. So that is what that looks like. I feel like these sheets up here, there's like no border at the top. I don't know if that's all of the note pages or just this one, but it's definitely different from my previous spread last year. Okay, so that's the savings. So we have the date, the account, amount, description, end. This is the same savings format that I have for my monthly kits, but essentially it's just for me when I have different transactions. If I have different accounts, I can save it to that corresponding account. But for 2023, I'm going to just be primarily focusing on the short-term savings and just putting everything in there, just because it's easier to explain on camera. And I can completely try to ignore my long-term savings just to keep that doing what it wants to do. Okay, so these are all laid down. That is the end of that sheet now too. Okay, so I have all the lines down for this. So that is what this spread now looks like. And this is what let's see what we have so far. So far we have our emergency fund. We have our first quarter budget, second quarter budget, third quarter budget, fourth quarter budget. We have our bills overview. Alrighty, so that is actually gonna be it for this video. So this was the 3 spreads. So we have our bills. I'm gonna go ahead and fill these off camera, and then we have our debt overview for our student loans, as well as our Savopoly. So thank you guys so much for watching. The next part is going to be setting up the last 2 spreads of my planner, and those are going to be for our budget results for quarterly, and then also for my savings color trackers. So if you guys are interested in any of those videos, definitely keep an eye out for that video. It will be coming soon. Thank you guys so much again, and have a wonderful day. Bye.